Okay, here then another video on how you can crop out an image and uh, increase detail for Photoshop in pedesign. And this time I just came across this the other day, and we can use also Inkscape for cropping an image. And to go and crop an image, we will be, since a lot of you are using Inkscape already, we can go and use the Bezier tool. So I have here the Bezier tool selected, and I may not draw the lines really perfect, but I try to do my best so that we can keep the video as short as possible. And what we do is we draw here along the outside of the image, and so we want to draw as close and as accurate as possible. And we can go and I'll just use some straight points in it, and then we go wherever we want, and when we're coming back to the end, when we're on top of it, the color will change on the first node a little, and then click on there and we close a shape. So now we can go and set the fill color. We can set that to none, and I'll use a obvious color here for setting the stroke, and the stroke is really small right now, but I'll increase that a little for visibility. And there we have our outline ready. If we want to make some adjustments to the line, we can just go and to the node select tool. There are different options now. We can go and move nodes in the direction that we want the shape. We can go and drag the lines if we want to make adjustments, and we also have an option drawing a box on all the nodes, and we can try and make them auto smooth. That will make all the lines a nice smooth line. If there are some areas and we don't like it, because if we changing then the line on one spot, it will also change the line on the opposite spot. So then the nodes can be selected again, and then go make them a corner node. And if we then make an adjustment, oh, I didn't want to drag the line. Now I have control on each individual handle for making adjustments. Once we have this outline, then to our satisfaction, there's one spot that is a little too far out. Once we have this, then we have to a certain point we have two options. It will work like this without any problem if we just have the one full shape around, but if we would have an image and there is holes to be cut in, then there is a second option. So the first option is to go like this, and then we go object, and then we go clip, and we go set. Oh, sorry, I forgot one step here. We select the outline we just drew, hold down the shift key and select the image, and then we go object, clip and set, and there we have our object cut out the way we would like it. The second option, and we can undo this quite easy, doesn't matter how far we are into the project, we can undo this step by, we can go edit, undo history, we can go, but that will clear all the steps we're doing in between. But at any time we can go to object, clip, and we can go and release, and then we have our path again and the image in the background. Then the second option is we have this shape created. Now what we will go and do is we'll give it a fill color, and so we have to make sure that we have only the one object selected, and we give it a white fill color, and the wider it is, the more, otherwise you are gonna get transparency if you go and make it a black fill. So then we go to the fill and stroke. I have the Brother embroidery color palette here, and the white is not a perfect white, so that is why I'm going to the fill and stroke panel and have the solid fill here, and we know white, that is the RGB codes are 255, 255, 255. Now we have a perfect white, and then we will go object, and then we go to the mask option, and then we go and set, oh, we have to do the same thing again with a shift select, and we go object, mask, set, and there we have, oh, I forgot one thing. I always like to, here I'll undo for a moment, and I'll select, deselect for a moment, select this object, and I'll make a duplicate and set the duplicate, set the stroke, and I'll set the fill on. Okay, now deselect. So now I'm selecting the object again and select my image, and I go object, mask, set. So now I have my image cut out. Now to go and add color or enhance the image so that we can get better detail in it, we can go and zoom in a long ways. Now we can go with the Bezier tool, and if nothing is selected, we can change the color on the stroke style, depending also how you have yours set, and we can then create our details. As you can see, now it is a matter of click, and we can add these nostril hairs, and we can add as many as we want. We can set them to whatever color we want. And as you can see, I have snapping on, so that snapping, that is the magnetism from the nodes, so it may jump over onto another node nearby. So the best thing would be is turn off snapping, and we can create as much detail as we want. That depends on which nostrils do you want to have in there. Then we can go in on this side. That is a strange little line what happened there. That is a strange little line. I don't know, it doesn't appear to be a path, but I don't know exactly what it is. But let's not worry about that for now. I should go and in the objects panel, and I should lock the image. Okay, now that little line has disappeared, so I don't know where that came from. And now we go back to the Bezier again, and we keep drawing the lines. And as you can see, we can zoom in quite a ways. And so I'll draw a few more here, and then I'll go on to another part. And we can, if you have to be really accurate or want to be really accurate, we can go in the node select tool, and we can go and make minor adjustments on the curves. And let's say we are happy there. And if we think we want to go and increase the width of these lines, we can go, for that matter, we can select all of them, and we can increase the line width by just scrolling here on the stroke, or we can right click on the stroke and we can set them all to a specific width, and now they are all at a 1 millimeter width. So now we can go into the eyes, and or we can here on top there's some detail what can be added to yet, but I'll go and focus here on the eyes for a moment. Then what we can do is we can, for drawing in the eye, and there we have the eye. I'll set the stroke to none, and we set a fill, and there we have our eye. And if we want to rotate it, we click on it again, and we can go rotate it. We can drag it into place, and so there we have one eye already. And now we want to see there is also a little black spot in the center of the eye, so we want to have that also. So I turn the opacity down for a moment, and now we can go to the ellipse tool, and stroke none. We set the color, and we can drag it into place. Then we can reselect and change the opacity again. And let's say we can go and select it, we can duplicate it, and we can drag it over onto this eye, and we can go and rotate it in place. And we can do the same thing with the black, duplicate it and So we'll have to turn the opacity down a little bit on that eye if we want to have it really good in location. We can go and rotate it again and place it. Turn up the opacity on the yellow again, and away we go. And here with the nose, we want to create there also the detail. We can go again. We can go with a Bezier tool and draw our shape. And as you can see, this is almost easier than what I showed in GIMP, because you can see the shape better what you're drawing. And we'll give this a red color. And like I say, this is the brother embroidery thread colors. And now we can go and select it again, select all the nodes, and we can go and make them smooth. And that way you can create the detail on an image. Also, there are possibilities here. We can also make minor adjustments on the images itself, and that is why I created this, made a duplicate of the outline. And so I'll go and undo the move here, and I will give that a white color. And what can be done is we can go and brighten the image a little bit. And as you can see here in the objects panel, I can go and change the blend mode. And with the blend mode, we can change the brightness. As you can see, now I'm turning the opacity down, and we can change quite a bit in the brightness of the image. And then by using a different blend mode, you can see we're getting right away a complete different outcome on the image. And every image will be different on what kind of blend mode to use. As you can see, by just changing. And sometimes what can happen also is that you would want one area of the image brightened up and not another area. So then what can be done also is select the path and then the fill and stroke, and we can give it a gradient. And if we then go to the node select, if we up the opacity a little, I should go and change maybe the, as you can see now I'm in a screen mode, now you can see it a little better. And we can change the angle of the gradient by dragging this handle. So this way we can brighten up a certain area of the image. And then we can check with the blend mode. We can, for that matter, also change the color a little bit. the gradient. If we using, as you can see, now I'm switching over to a different color, and we can get right away all kinds of different effects on an image. We can play quite a bit with that. As you can see, that gives a whole different coloring on your image. So I hope this will help you in creating a nice photo stitch to your liking. And I will show you here the color palette. There are multicolor palettes available. The Brother Embroidery, Brother Country, there is Orifil, there is the Arc Polyester, Arc Rayon, and so yeah, there's all kinds of Embroidex, Floriani, Fufu, Gunold, Hemmingworth, Isacord. So there's all kinds of Kingstar, Madeira, Marathon, Metaler, the new broad thread. So there's lots of color palettes available, and hopefully the one you're using is in here. That way pedesign will recognize those colors right away. Okay, I hope this has been helpful, and have fun creating. Thanks for watching. And then there's one more little thing what I started forgetting about, and it is, once you're happy with how you have your image looking, so here I'll change that color to the white, and it looks a little better, and change the opacity there. Anyway, once we are happy with the whole layout, and here I still have a black outline around it, so that should be changed. So we turn off the outline. Then there are other options yet. If you want to use the image the way it is, you can leave it as is. If you want to have, say, a background behind it, then that can be done also. And I'll change the color here for a moment, and have to go here to the fill and stroke for a moment and change the opacity. And I'm gonna go to my objects panel and bring that one to the bottom, and I can create a background to whatever color I want, and I can change the shape here, and we can make that a placement. We can, if we want to, we can resize it, and we can give it a border. Let me see, may not be the right color choices, but this is just for showing what can be done. And you could go, if that is something the way you would like, then pedesign will go and recognize these shapes and these colors, and you can work with them. So then what we want to do is, once we are all happy with it, then we will go and select all these objects, and then go export PNG. Then you get an export PNG image window open here, and then you want to have selection selected, and then I find it the easiest to go to export as, and then you can go and put it in the folder wherever you want it, and give it a name, and here I have rectangle 4678, and I go and save. And now I'll go to my Windows Explorer, and as you can see there in my Windows Explorer, there is the image, and I can drag it over in here for a minute. And there you have the image was created over here. And this image, you can just like that, and you can load that into pedesign and start using the photostitch and start selecting your colors and start creating. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope this has been helpful, and have fun creating.